Hello guys, welcome to my channel. So it's been quite some time since the last time I uploaded a tutorial, so I thought today I'll make a new one and we will be painting a beautiful seascape with gouache. And yeah, let's get started. First you'll need some gouache paints. Grab any shade of blue you have. I'll be using cerulean blue, but you could also use sky blue or even a darker shade like ultramarine would be fine. In real life, the sea and the sky look different every day anyway, so the shade doesn't really matter. Next, you'll need some apricot or brownish color for the sand. I'm using light apricot. However, if you don't have apricot, you could also use ochre or something else, as you will see later. Last but not least, you need some white gouache, and this is totally optional, some shade of green if you have. Also, you'll need paper that can handle wet media. You could use watercolor paper as well as mixed media paper. I'm using a Strathmore sketchbook for wet media, which I'll also link down in the description box. As you can see, I'm taping the edges of the paper with the washi tape to get clean edges, and I would recommend using rather cheap washi tape because the glue is often weaker, so the paper won't rip that easily when pulling it off in the end. Concerning the brushes, you'll need a flat and a round brush that are suitable for watercolor and gouache. I've linked mine down in the description box. We'll begin with painting the sky. Using a flat brush, take some of the blue gouache and apply it to the top of the paper. Next, add white on top of it and blend the colors together. We want to paint a nice blue gradient that's darker at the top and gets lighter going downwards. If the paint feels too thick and doesn't spread well, add a teeny tiny bit of water. A slightly damp brush is often enough. When mixing gouache paints, make sure to mix a lighter shade than you actually want to have because gouache dries a little darker. Now let the sky dry. When it's dried, we'll start painting the water. Use your blue shade to create an even horizon line in the middle between top and bottom and fill about 1/4 of the page with blue. Next, clean your brush in water and take pure white to create a transition between the blue and the bottom part of the page that's still white. Go over the paint until there are no harsh edges anymore. The next step is optional, depending on if you have some green gouache at hand, but mostly the sea looks rather green than blue, so you can take any green shade you have at hand and dilute some of it with a lot of water. Now dip your brush in green and carefully apply a light wash of green on top of the water and blend it in. To make the transition smoother, use white again and blend it well until the blue fades into white. And now mix light apricot with white to get a really light shade. As I said earlier, you could also use yellow ochre, for example, which looks more brownish but works just fine. Now apply the color in the bottom and blend it with the rest using white. Make sure to keep your brush clean so you won't get any blue into the sand area. If you're not happy with your transition, you can always take more white to smooth it out, but make sure to blend the transition from blue to white and from white to apricot separately, so you don't accidentally mix blue and apricot. Now let everything dry. Next, use your blue shade and start adding lines of different length and thickness to the water. Bigger ones in the front and smaller ones in the back. If you like, you can add a bit of green to the blue, but again, this is optional. Now we'll be using the round brush. Do not wet your brush, just use it as dry as it is and apply some white where you want the clouds to be and blend the edges. Using a dry brush will give them an interesting texture that almost looks like candy cotton. If your clouds aren't bright enough, add some more white here and there to give them some nice highlights. The last step is adding some highlights and foam to the sea. Add some white on top of the dark lines indicating the waves and vary the thickness and the brightness. Also add some sea foam where the water meets the sand. Just try to create some irregular pattern here. When everything is dry, you can use a hairdryer to heat the washi tape so it's easier to pull off. And now your painting is done. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it and tag me if you tried this tutorial yourself. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye guys!